For the Monday episode, we got a great young talent up north in Prescott, Arizona, but now in Flagstaff. We got 6'4" guard from originally Prescott High School, now with the NAU Lumberjacks, Jason Parent. Appreciate you coming on, man. How you doing today?
Good, good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I mean, I looked at your stats, like I said before we started recording, and it seemed like you torched everybody last year. So I feel like I had to have you on at some point. But excited to have you on today. Um, First off, how has the off season been? What's it been like up with the Lumberjacks this off season and just kind of training to get the season started?
Yeah, the off season has been great. We got up there at the beginning of June, so I was basically there all summer, and we really just focused on getting stronger, lifting weights a lot, and getting more athletic and quick. So a lot of strength training, and also just working on areas of my game that need to get better on.
So you're originally from Texas, correct?
I am. Yep. I lived my whole life in a town called Wimberley near Austin, Texas. And I just went to high school in Prescott.
Gotcha. I do want to ask then, what was life like for you going from, big state Texas? Like I've been to Dallas and Fort Worth and South Lake in that area of Texas, and I mean it's a great area. What was the transition like, especially going into high school, coming from Texas to kind of like small town Prescott?
It was definitely a lot different. Kind of culturally different too. Obviously, it's a different area of the country. But it was a pretty good transition. I think I got adjusted here pretty quickly and met some friends, and I've liked Prescott a lot so far, but it's definitely a lot different. Football's a lot bigger in Texas. They go a lot more crazy about that, but other than that, it was a pretty smooth transition, and I'm really liked Prescott.
So you were a pretty sought after high school talent here. Your junior year, you put up like 18 points a game. I think I saw. Had a great year. And then last year, we'll get into your averages in a bit, but you were carrying that Prescott team that you were a part of. Um, a lot of great games. It's like a couple third, like I think you had like 38 one game, and then multiple 25 plus point games. You guys finished 17-11, lost to Mesquite, who ended up being the state champion. You guys are second in your region as well. How did you feel you did as a team last year?
Last year as a team, I thought we performed pretty well. Obviously, I was hoping to make it further in the playoffs. Lost to a really good Mesquite team. Um, but yeah, I think we did pretty good. Our goal was to win region. Obviously, didn't happen. But I think overall, it was a pretty successful year, and obviously didn't end how I was hoping it would. But I think as a team, we had a lot of fun together. That's always great. We were a very close group of guys, so I think it was a pretty successful year.
What things have you focused on most this offseason? Of course, being at NAU, you're not necessarily far away from home. It's like what, like a 30-minute drive, I think, from Prescott to Flag. But what things have you focused on most this offseason to kind of make that transition to college ball more comfortable for you?
Well, first off, like I said, I've been lifting weights a lot and trying to get more athletic and stronger and all that. So just working on my body physically, and also there's when you get to college, there's a lot of new, like, or even when you get to like a new program, there's a lot of new terminology and everything. So just trying to work on that and memorize all that, and just get used to the college basketball setting more.
Yeah, for sure. NAU has, I saw a video a couple of months back of these people that do tours of like the state of the art facilities around the country. I think it's Koiski Media, and they've been to like Alabama, Texas, A&M, Duke, all the places. They went to NAU, and I've known NAU, I'm sure you heard it in high school too. It's kind of like I guess like the pothead college. Like everyone up there is just like appreciate it. The joke was like it's appreciating nature and like just a vibe place. But their facility is one of the best facilities I've ever seen. We get into why you committed during your senior year to NAU in your recruitment process, what is being in that facility every day, being around this coaching staff, been like for you? Because it really seems like it's a state of the art, like Division I college, training facility.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, they just finished it, I think last spring, so it's brand new. Very nice weight room. We got the basketball courts in there. We got a really nice locker room. So it's definitely something that I take advantage of. I love getting in there on my own time and getting extra shots up and putting extra work in. But it's just a great thing to have. I think it's really advantageous to our program, and you know, I think it's probably really good for the recruiting too. I mean, whenever you walk in there and see that, you're like, wow, like you wouldn't really expect that from NAU. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 exactly. Um, um, what was your recruiting like? Before we get into you committing to NAU specifically, what other schools were recruiting you? And just kind of give us a rundown of what it was like leading up to committing to NAU.
Um, so when I was getting towards the end of my recruiting process, there was my last schools were that I was deciding on were NAU, Dominican, which is a D2 in California, and a school called Nebraska Wesleyan. They were heavily recruiting me too. But before that, I had an offer from Metro State, which is in Denver. I was getting recruited by other schools like Princeton, Texas State was recruiting me, Northern Colorado, who else? Texas or Corpus Christi, A&M in Texas,
Hmm.
um, and Citadel was recruiting me too. So at the end, I just for my decision, I thought it would be great to just stay home and be close to NAU. And obviously, I really liked all the coaches and everything. Obviously, the brand new facility was nice too. But I would say my recruitment definitely really picked up towards the very end of high school to the spring of my senior year. So I was getting a little discouraged before that because I was getting recruited by schools, but they weren't offering me. Like they were just talking to me, texting me, and all that. But towards the end, everything started picking up. Started hearing from a lot more people, and ultimately ended up deciding NAU.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I actually read in your biography from NAU, one of the big decisions of why you wanted to come there was the facility and being close to family. But any other reasons? Was it the coaching staff? Was it, the feel of the team and the guys on the roster? What kind of other things stuck out to you that made you want to come and join the lumberjack team?
Yeah, so I didn't really get to meet the team much actually in when I was getting recruited because they started recruiting me pretty late. Didn't get to meet the guys. Obviously, I love all of them now. Really, really good teammates. But yeah, I'd say the coaches were a really big reason that I came here because I got led on by a lot of coaches in high school. I hadn't
Mm.
obviously hadn't been through the recruiting process before, so kind of got led on by them. But NAU was like really straightforward with me, and I really appreciated that. So that was definitely a big reason, and love all the coaches right now too. They're all great guys.
So you're 6'4". Unfortunately, you are redshirting, which we'll get into in a little bit too. But in my eyes, you're looked at as a great addition to this. I know they're you guys are getting kind of popular around the Arizona media scene. I know like Doolin Made's been up there. Evision, I think, posted that poster that Oakland had last night, which was
Yeah,
unreal. It seemed like.
yeah, that was crazy.
Um, I had Isaiah Kai on a couple of weeks back. He's coming to NAU. I'm gonna try to get Armand on. I know he's going to NAU. Oakland, it seems like they're focusing on Arizona talent because there is a lot of great talented players around the state. What do you think though, being around this team? You guys had a tough schedule so far. Michigan State, you got Texas on Monday. Like these are tough ass top 25 teams in the country.
They are.
What can we expect, do you think, from this team this year, being around them every day?
Expect from me.
Oh, sorry, like expect from the team. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Um, Yeah, obviously we have a really tough schedule, especially at the beginning. So I think that's going to be really beneficial to us for preparing us to play in our conference games. So I think we're definitely going to be ready for that. Like we played UCSB last night, and they were, I think in some polls they were projected to be the number one team in the Big West Conference, I think it is, and we just beat them by about 10 points, so it was definitely a considerable amount. But yeah, I think that from us, we're just going to be really prepared from all the work that we put in the summer and also the tough games that we've had at the beginning, just playing bigger and better teams than the ones that we're going to see further down the road.
Who would you say is like considered your rival? I know like y'all play at ASU. Do y'all play GCU this year? Because I feel like
We
that
don't
could be
play
a really fun
GCU.
thing.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Hopefully we'll end up playing them in the future. But our rival, honestly, I'm not sure who our rival is. I'm sure we have a team that like is kind of our rival, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one. I'll have to look further into that one.
Um, what's one word you'd say best describes how you play? I was able to go on Max Preps and watch, a lot of the clips on there. I hope you feel special. I went through, I feel like 35 minutes of freaking ads just to watch, those the small clips that Max Preps posts because they throw like 3 ads at you every single time. But some things I noticed, you talk about how you're athletic. I saw one of the clips like a big fast break. You got the steal and you're going down, and you're not just like slow, like quietly dunking it. You're like kind of throwing it down with a bit of authority. You're able to spread the floor. It seems like and shoot from a lot of different spots on the court. And your shot blocking, I know you were probably playing you guys a little bit shorter than you, but kind of just like the emphasis you were putting on a lot of the blocks and like just not just like blocking it, but like it pretty much was like get that shit out of here type of mentality when you're blocking some of these shots. What's one word you would say best describes how you play?
Um, I would just say like energetic. Every time I get on the court, I'm trying to make a positive impact, whether it be like diving on the floor to get balls. Last year, obviously, was scoring the majority of the points for my team, but I just try to bring in a lot of energy and just get the team going. I feel like that's what I'm best at. Like you said, like if I'm gonna dunk the ball or I'm gonna block a shot, like I'm gonna do it hard and try to get our team going and all that. So I definitely say energetic.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anybody you try to play like you're kind of probably looked at more as like a combo guard instead of a lead guard for the NAU, especially next year with Oakland and Isaiah and the rest of the guys you got on the team. But is there anybody you try to play like?
I wouldn't say there's someone that I like to like completely model my game after, but I like Kawhi Leonard a lot. I like how he carries himself. Also he plays both ends of the floor, so he's definitely a big presence on defense as well. I like Kobe. That's like I'm a big. I like the mid range. I like shooting in the mid range. So I like what he does in the mid range, but I wouldn't say I have like one specific player, but there's just a couple of guys that I like to take some things after them.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get back to last season for a second. Um, like you said, you're scoring most of the points for your team, and that definitely wasn't um a lie. I mean, you averaged 27, 26 and a half, 27 points a game, 4 assists, 8.5 rebounds, 3 steals, and a block a game. What made you feel so like, I guess, confident and comfortable last season to pretty much, play as great as you did and help your team out as much as you did?
Well, it was my fourth year at Prescott High School, so that I'd been in that system for a long time, and I have a really close relationship with Coach Stedman, who's the head coach at Prescott. So he just had a lot of confidence in me, and I think that really just helped me to just do my thing last year, and also just trusting all the work that I had put in high school. That definitely added to my confidence, and also I just knew that it was my last year, and I wanted to have a really big year, and hopefully that would help me with my recruiting down the road, and I think it did. So yeah, there was just a lot of things that added up to all the confidence that I had last year.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking at you guys' schedule. Tough loss to start the year against NDP. I've had Anthony Batson on, and he looks like he's about to have another big junior year for the Saints. But 22-point win against Cortez right after that. You won on a bit of a winning streak, beating Highland Prep, Trivium, Seton, and Thunderbird. Um, Coconino, you beat by 20. You beat Mohave by 28. You gave a 33-point win against Mingus, and then a tough loss against Mesquite in December. But then you got it kind of back and forth, it seemed like, throughout the year. Um, how were you able, especially as your fourth year playing for Prescott, to pick your guys up after tough losses against some of the tougher competition in the state?
Um, I wouldn't say it was all me. We were really all bought in that year, so we knew like if we just took one loss, we had to move on to the next game because you're not really going to benefit from dwelling on the last loss. So we were all just we had a lot of seniors last year, so we were all really just hyped about playing our next game. So we really just picked each other up as a team and moved on.
So you are redshirting this year for NAU.
Mhm.
Was that a personal decision by you? Was that a mutual decision between you and the coaching staff? What led to the decision of you redshirting for NAU this year?
Yeah, so I was entertaining the thought. I was thinking that I would probably do it, but my coach, he called me I think the day before the road trip when everyone went to Michigan State, ASU, and then Utah Valley. Told me I was redshirting, and I definitely was all for it. A whole year of getting stronger, getting better, being around all of our guys, and obviously I'll have 4 more years of eligibility starting next year. So I think it was a great decision. I'm pretty confident in that, and just we have a pretty old team as well, so I don't think I would have seen the court a whole lot this year. So I think it's just smart, really, to just take a year and get better, and then next year just have have uh have the next 4 years to do my thing.
I appreciate how, you're kind of embracing it. I feel like a lot of people, especially at the stature you were playing at in high school, hearing from a coach like, "Oh, you got a red shirt, like you're probably not going to play this year." I feel like a lot of people, a lot of players would have been like, "Screw this guy, I'm just going to transfer," and then they end up at some like small ass D3 school in Iowa or something,
Mhm.
So I appreciate how, you're embracing this role of just kind of taking the year off, but also like this is the time to develop into a great player and get stronger. What is it? How has been being around, especially guys like Carson and the rest of the older guys, helped you become starting to become that a player you want to be able to play like next season and for the rest of the future?
Yeah, we got a lot of guys with a lot of experience on my team, so it's nice like being able to practice and go up against them every day. They'll give me advice sometimes and share some of the experience that they've had. So I think that's definitely very beneficial for me in my development because just being around all those guys is definitely gonna make me a lot better too.
I do want to focus on next year then for a second, just because that's when you'll be playing with Isaiah and Armand and whoever else, transfers in or you guys recruit down here. With some of the younger guys like Oakland, what do you think we can expect? I know the season just started this year. We got a long way to go till next, but I'm sure you're itching and excited for next season already. But what do you think we can expect with the guys y'all got coming in addition with you and the rest of the guys that will come back next year?
I wouldn't expect anything less than what we're doing this year. Obviously, we're gonna lose some of our older guys, but I have trust that Coach Burkar and the rest of the coaching staff they recruit hardworking guys, and I think we're definitely gonna be successful next year and in the future as well.
One of my last questions for you before I let you go. I know you're not playing, but I know the message and the goals are still the same for everybody on the team, especially being told from the coaching staff. What is some of the goals that NAU Lumberjacks have for this upcoming season?
Our goal we want to be Big Sky champs. Every time we break it down after practice, we say Big Sky champs on three. So that's the main goal right now, and obviously if we win the Big Sky, we'll be in the tournament. So that's the main goal right now, and I think we definitely have a really good chance at being the Big Sky champs this year.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I mean, your team is very diverse, very athletic. And it seems like this could be a team that takes, NAU to a place that's really never been before. But I know you aren't necessarily playing, but who are you most looking forward to seeing your guys go up against this year?
Um, this year I'm just really excited for the conference games. Probably, I'm pretty excited when we play Montana State because they won it last year. So just playing the best teams in our conference. I think those will be really exciting games, and I'm excited to watch those ones.
My last question for you, how I end off everything. I know Prescott was a Nike school. You guys wore Nikes. I know NAU is an Adidas, right?
Yeah.
What was your favorite go-to shoe on the court last year? And I know it has to change now this year. The real change. You have to specifically wear Adidas shoes. But what have you been
Yeah.
rocking in practice this year? And what was your favorite last year?
Um, all through high school, I wore PGs. That was my favorite shoe. I wore those every single game. But now since we're in Adidas school, obviously can't wear those. So lately, they give us a lot of shoes at NAU, but the ones that I've been wearing lately are Dames. I think
Mm.
they're either six or sevens, but I've been wearing those quite a bit lately. And the actually they this I gave them the wrong size because Adidas runs big, and I didn't really know that. So a lot of my shoes are pretty big, which is kind of unfortunate because we get so many. So a lot of them don't fit me, but yeah, I've been wearing the Dames either six or sevens recently.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on, Jason. And anything to shout out before we get out of here?
Um, I'd say good luck to to Prescott this year. I think they're gonna have a great year. So shout out to them.
Well, Jason, I appreciate you coming on. I wish you and the rest of the NAU Lumberjacks nothing but the best this upcoming season. Excited to watch you play next year. And yeah, man, we'll talk soon.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate you having me on.